All right, so we are now streaming to YouTube for the purposes of recording. If you're watching this on YouTube at a later point, welcome to the Toucans Demo. I know a few of you actually wanted to check out the recording, so here it is for you. And for all of you that are in the Discord today, Budsy, Cubic Ray, Air, Jack, and Professor Meta, thanks everyone for joining. It's good to have you here. So we've done this demo a few times. If you've been here over the previous times, a lot of it is similar, but there is a lot of new stuff as well. Also, I hope it all works. I say that because we've been working on it a lot, and it's not uncommon that like something might just break or not work or whatever it is. But hopefully, the demo gods are with us today, and yeah, it should be exciting. So, in short, Toucans is a platform to fundraise. It's a platform to launch a DAO. It creates a token for you, that being a fungible token. So it'll create a fungible token, create a DAO around it, allow you to fundraise in that token, and also allow you to manage a multi-signed treasury. So what that means is essentially a treasury that has tokens or assets inside of it, and you can have multiple people sort of govern that treasury, withdraw from it, transfer, all these fun things. That is, all multi-sign, right? Adding new signers, removing them, and I'll show you all. I'll show all of you this today. All right, awesome. Welcome, Calcoin and Falcon. Great to have you here as well, and Ricky. Hey, Ricky. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and connect my wallet. Right now, it's all running on a local emulator, so this is just for the purposes of transactions being fast. So let's go ahead and log in with this account. This does support .find, so if you have a .find name, it'll welcome you through that. And also, everything throughout this process, anytime an address is mentioned, it will be replaced with the .find name if you have it. So let's go to generate a DAO. This is where you create your DAO or your project. So I'm going to just create Emerald DAO. And my token name is going to be Emerald, EMLD. Now for the logo, I'll just click our logo, and the banner image, I'll just put a random banner image. And we're going to work on, having these two, or giving you better requirements for what these two should be. But for now, these are just inputs for, your logos. The next part is a description, so I'm just going to put a DAO for amazing emerald people. The next step is socials, so you can put like a website, Twitter, Discord. So for this one, I'm just going to put etdao.org. For Twitter, I'm just going to put Emerald DAO. And for the Discord, I'm going to put Emerald City. And hopefully, it should display in a way that it's easy for you to put, the correct format for each of these.
Okay.
Awesome. So let's go to the next step.
Uh,
And then here, so we actually took some feedback from last time. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Austin actually from Floaty that suggested instead of using FUSD, we actually use USDC. So Toucans now supports USDC instead of FUSD, and I think that's a good change. I think a lot of people use USDC instead of FUSD, and in fact, I actually heard rumors that FUSD is not going to be supported in the long run. So boom, we now support Flow and USDC, which people then usually ask, well, what about Dapper Wallet? Unfortunately, we can't use Dapper Wallet because of legal reasons. Dapper Wallet doesn't allow tokens to be held in their wallet, and actually, that's why they went through like months and months, if not years, of like legal problems with Flow Token. So unfortunately, Dapper Wallet cannot be used on this platform because of that reason, but it's all right. Um, so I'm gonna just select Flow because I know that it works and it's also easier to test with. You can specify a max supply. So this is saying that or this is a way to communicate to your, users that you're only gonna ever have no more than like, let's say, I don't know, 1 million tokens. So, with Toucans, you own your token, right? It's not owned by the platform. So what that means is when you generate a DAO, the token contract actually gets deployed to your account. um, this is important because it means that you can do whatever you want with it. You can go to IncrementFi and create a swap pair with Flow token and your token. You can create a farm, a liquidity pool, all this DeFi stuff. And you can you can mint tokens on your own if you turn this option on. So you can do a lot of stuff with it. But you're basically saying that no matter what I do in any of these platforms, I'm not gonna have a max supply of more than 1 million. This can be changed because the person owns their contract. They can mess with this number. It's more of like a communicative tool than like an actual restriction. But and that will be communicated here as well. So let's just say we're not going to have more than a million. And let's say for initial supply, just to have fun, we'll have 100 in the initial supply, and this gets minted right to the treasury. And also for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to turn mint tokens on. So this allows us to mint tokens, and our users will be able to see that this is turned on as well. Now this step is edit delay. This is a bit confusing, but basically edit delay is the amount of time that you're telling your users that you won't edit something about your project, so they have greater confidence in your project that you're not changing stuff around. So what that means is, for example, if we put 3 days here, that means that you won't change anything about your funding rounds or about your, really anything about your DAO within a 3-day period. So if it's within 3 days of like a funding round starting, then users can have confidence that you're not going to change anything on them. So the greater edit delay, the greater confidence your community can have in you. But for now, we're just going to put no delay so that we can move things pretty quickly. Then you can just review, and we're gonna generate our DAO. You can see that because it's emulator, it like immediately goes through, and hopefully it should automatically bring us to our projects page. So here we are. Here's our projects page. You can see the DAO name. It says minting is enabled, so everyone in the community knows that the owners can mint. Description. Here's our token name and all of our fun socials. If we like click this link, okay, perfect. It brings up the website, Discord, Twitter. So awesome. Now this shows you what the Treasury wallet currently holds. You'll see that it says that there's 0 USDC, zero flow, but there is 100 Emerald, and that's because remember we, as our initial supply, we selected 100, for Emerald. So boom, that's already in the Treasury. You can see that we have, or at least I have 0 Emerald. The max supply is a million. The circulating supply, this is basically just the amount of emerald that exists. And there's 100 because we minted it to the treasury. We have currently 0 funding, and no one's holding or has funded this project, so it's kind of irrelevant so far. And the only activity that's been happened is the project's been created, and we can see there's just one signer of the treasury, and that's just me because I'm the project owner. So, boom, everything is pretty straightforward right now. So the only real action we can take at the moment is we can just donate to this project, and donation doesn't really like it's nothing more than just me sending tokens to the treasury. That's what donating is. So we wanted to allow this option because we thought that maybe sometimes people would create a DAO around like fundraising like a social cause or like trying to raise money for some event they're doing or like some to whatever it is, right? If it's a giveaway or if it's trying to raise money to help cure something or to charity or whatever it is, you can have a donate button where the person donating isn't getting anything in return. It's just sending money to the project. So you can see if we click donate, this little disclaimer saying the Toucans is not responsible for all the complicated, all the stuff. You can read this if you want. And then if we accept this, we get to the donation page. So again, you can select between donating in Flow or USDC. I'm just going to put a 10 Flow token, and I'm going to add a special message saying, I love this project with a heart, okay? And so if I pay and approve, you can see what's pretty cool is it says thank you. We can share it to Twitter or Discord. So if I click Twitter, it actually says I just donated Emerald. Obviously we'll make this cooler and also make more sense. But this is like the idea is I just donated to Emerald DAO, right? And if I go back, I can X this out, and you'll see what's super cool about Toucans is it actually tracks the activity across the whole platform, so all your users can see what's going on. So what I mean by that is it shows on the dashboard that someone donated, and you can even see the message that they sent, the amount that they donated, all that stuff, right? So it's really cool that you can see everything that's going on. We also have now 10 flow in the treasury because I just donated it. Um, so yeah, this is donation so far. So any questions so far? I know I'm talking super fast, but anyone have any questions so far? All right, awesome. Looks like we're all good. So the next portion is going to our dashboard. Now, this is where things start to get really exciting, because there's so many different things we can do with our project. So we go to our dashboard, and this is only for the owner. So this is again, this is restricted to the owner's view. So the owner can view, of course, the Treasury wallet, the funders, the holders, the circulating supply, funding, right? This is all stuff that you saw on the main page, but there's a little bit more too. So why don't we go ahead and create a funding round? So the reason you would do this is you're saying, okay, I want to create a funding round where I'm going to tell my users, for every 10 flow token or for every one flow token that you donate, I'm going to give you, 10 emerald in return or some amount of emerald in return. And the reason for this is because you're telling users, okay, if you fund my project, I will give you our project's token in return. And it's almost like an investment, right? Because the greater our project does, hopefully the more valuable our tokens will become. And so it's like a trade-off, right? But for users, and it's also a great way for users just to fund a project that they believe in. Yeah, sure, Meta. Actually, I think that'd be great to do that at the end because I think a lot of people here might have ideas for that, and that's why they're here. And I think it'd be cool to hear from people directly about some of those use cases. Awesome. Thanks for the question, though. So let's go ahead and create a funding round. We can create round, and immediately we're met with a little calendar. Now, thank you, Mateo, if you're watching this, for improving this so much. Last time it was kind of like a input, now it's like an actual cool little calendar. So let's say we want the funding round to start here and end on Wednesday. um, all right, so next, oh, and also it can be an infinite round. So if it's an infinite round, that means it starts at a certain date and just goes on forever until either it's ended or another one starts. But we could just do this for now. Then these are the conditions. So we can specify a goal. Let's say either, again, our goal can be infinite, but let's say our goal is 1,000. We want to raise 1,000 flow token, and the issuance rate is 10. So this means for every one flow token we donate, we'll get 10 emerald in return. We can have a certain reserve rate. So this is from 0 to 100. A reserve rate is basically the amount of tokens that will get reserved into our treasury. So, for example, if someone donates one flow token, right, they're supposed to get 10 emeralds in return. However, they actually will only get 7.5 in return because 25% of it is going to get held within the treasury. So it's almost like a tax. um, then we can say, okay, we will also want to allow overflow. So allowing overflow is basically a way to say that we want to allow people to donate more than like the goal. So let's say our goal is 1,000. If we allow overflow, then people can donate, an infinite amount after that amount, and it'll go to overflow instead. And I'll talk about overflow in a bit. But if you only want to give away a certain amount of tokens or raise a certain amount of money, you can disable allowing overflow. Okay. Um, Now we also listened to feedback last time. I think it was Kelcoin or somebody. Kelcoin, maybe it was you, that said that they wanted to add a restriction where you can select a certain NFT, and if the user owns that NFT, they can participate. But if they don't own the NFT, they can't participate. So we actually added that in for the NFT catalog. So you'll be able to click here and see all the NFTs in the NFT catalog, but because this is a test version, you can't really see all of them. It's just like one here. But for example, I know Budsy's here and a couple Flunks fans are here. So for example, if you only want someone to be able to get your token and fund the project if they have a Flunk, you can do that here. And same with Meta. I'm thinking about like maybe some of your students, right? If they have a certain like Touchstone NFT, that's also going to be included in here as well. So a lot of use cases for that. Um, okay, so if we click next here, now this is distribution. So we can automatically set a certain distribution for our fundraise. So let's say, we want 10% to go to me, 30% to go to the treasury, and 70% to go to like some other community members. You can actually set that up here so that when someone donates it or when someone funds, the funds automatically go to a certain amount of distributed addresses. For now, I'm just going to leave this blank. So, 95% goes to the treasury and 5% goes to Emerald City because we take 5% of all funds. So we can launch the round and hopefully this goes through. It's sealed. And if we were to refresh the page, or actually it already did show there. Okay, I don't know why it's showing that, but hopefully this isn't a glitch. Okay, so I have to quickly run, because it's on the emulator, I have to run a transaction to like manually advance time. So I will do that off screen. Um, Hopefully this works. And we'll be good to go. Okay, so hopefully if I refresh the page, okay, nice. So everything is working good. So our funding round is active, which is cool. And if we were to go to our, our project's page, we should see there's an active funding round now, which is awesome. It shows the users that the goal is 1,000 flow. We currently have raised 0. It shows the start date, the end date, the reserve rate, and the issuance rate. And now we allow users to fund. So let's go ahead and log in, and let's go ahead and fund the project. So we can give the project, let's say we want to give the project 20 flow. And it says that you will receive 150. And remember, the reason for that is because we would receive 200 because the issuance rate is 10. However, there's a reserve rate, so it's almost like a 25% tax on that amount. We can add a message saying, "I hope this helps you in your project." Smiley face. All right. So if we pay, approve. Okay, it failed. Uh-oh. What did I do wrong? Um. Well, I might have to skip this portion because unfortunately it's not working. Aw, okay. So I will have to skip this portion because I guess I broke this. But you kind of get the point, right? Like it's actually not that important. The main idea is that you would fund the product, you would get this amount back, and you would deposit that amount. I think I literally just broke this actually. So unfortunate, but you get the idea. Okay. So that is fundraising. Anyone have any questions about fundraising? Also, no worries, Budsy. Oh, to donate. No, they can't use Dapper. Actually, the thing about donating is they actually technically could use Dapper because it's just sending tokens. However, I'm not exactly sure how we would support that kind of like experience because the user would have to log in with Dapper, donate, and then they basically be like blocked from doing anything else on the platform. But that is a cool idea, like to enable Dapper specifically for the purposes of donation. Oh wait, you know what? I actually think I found the error. Wait, let's see if I've just fixed it. Hold on. This would be funny. Live debugging with Jacob. All right, let's try it again. If I fund, let's say 15 flow, add a special message. I'm trying again with a smiley face. Let's see if this works. Hey, it worked. Nice. I just found the error. It was in the transaction actually. Okay, so that works. Cool. So you can see I now have 106 emerald, and yeah, and the treasury has some too because of the reserve rate. Meta says just thinking about all the Web2 peeps that believe in the DAO and want to support the cause. Yeah, it's a good idea. I think unfortunately, like the main use case for raising funds is going to be like funding, not donating. Or at least I think. Obviously, I don't know, but I believe it's going to be funding, and that just you can't use Dapper because of the token legal problem. Cool. Um, So now we have, we've raised the $14 out of the 1,000. And just to be cool, let's just max this out. So let's just say we're gonna donate like I don't know 1,500 or something. Um, Approve that, and now if you refresh the page, you'll see the goal is definitely reached, and all is good in the world. Also, these balances are definitely off. I'm not sure why, but I'll have to fix that too. But I guess like the main important part is just that you sort of get the idea. But yeah, these are definitely off. Okay. Cool. So if we go back to our dashboard, we can see all the actions that are taking place, which is pretty cool. And let's talk more about the treasury now. So if we wanted to, for example, withdraw tokens from the treasury, we can do that. So let's say we want to withdraw, um, to this address, which is basically me. And let's say, out of the 1,010 that we have available, let's just say we want to withdraw, I don't know, 10. So we can, create a withdraw attempt where if we run this transaction, this will create a multi-signed action to withdraw from the treasury. And you can see it's now an action that's waiting to be signed. So because I'm the only signer of this treasury right now, I just need to sign this and then it'll go through. So you'll see the action says withdraw 10 flow tokens from the treasury to Jacob.find. Now, Jacob.find is just a placeholder at the moment. This will be replaced with whoever is, whoever it's going to withdraw to. So if I say, you know what, I want this to happen, I think this would be good, I can go ahead and sign this, right? Approve and sign the transaction. And now the action is gone. And you can see we only have 1,000 flow token left in the treasury. So the 10 was withdrawn to my account. All right, now let's see what happens if we try to make this a little more complicated, where let's log in with a different account. Let's say we want to log in with, we'll call this um, cool person, create. Now here's cool person. And so with cool person, we can go to /p/emerald DAO. And I'm going to turn on notifications for this DAO so that I know that if a certain action is happening that wants me to sign, I will get notified about it. Okay, so I turn on notifications here. Falcon says, "Is there a time limit of how soon the signers have to sign?" No, there's not. There's no time limit. Okay, so if we go ahead and click Add Signer, we can add the new signer as a signer of this treasury. So let's do that. Let's take the new address, paste it in here, and submit changes. And also, let's also make the threshold. Actually, no, let's keep it at 1 for now. So let's submit the changes. All right. So we just created an action to add this signer as a new, add this address, sorry, as a new signer to the treasury. So if we go to our actions queue, refresh the page, you'll see there's a new action to add Jacob.find as a signer to the treasury, right? So it needs 2 signatures. Now the reason it needs 2 signatures is because it needs mine, right? I already exist as the signer, but we also made it so that the person being added as a signer also has to sign it. And the reason for this is because we didn't want people to create, like random DAOs and just like spam people with like spam add people to, be a signer of their treasury. It should be weird. So the new person has to also sign themselves onto the treasury. So if I say yes, approve that, approve, and refresh the page here, it says that I already voted, which is great, but there's still 1 signature needed to sign. Um, so yeah, that is still required. And actually, what's also pretty cool is if we go to the main page of the project, there's a pending actions tab. And so the whole, everyone in the community can actually see that this is currently being decided on. So boom, right? So 1 out of 2 signatures is currently being, has currently signed, and 1 more is needed. All right, so from this new person, right? If we actually go, we can see they actually have like a notification here. And if we go to pending actions, you'll see they can see that something is awaiting their signature. So for this project, Emerald DAO, it's add signer, add Jacob.find as a signer to the treasury. And if I say, you know what, yep, I want to be added, I can go ahead and sign this as well. Boom, that is done. And if we go back to this now, you can see the action no longer exists. And on the notifications, it says we added the signer at May 1st at 11:29 a.m. Awesome. So now when we go to our treasury, there are two signers now, which are needed to sign. And if we wanted to, we could also, sorry, update the threshold to be 2 so that, if we want to submit this change as well, we can go ahead and do that. And the threshold means that 2 people are needed to say yes in order to actually make an action go through. So we can sign that as well. Let's just say, yep, I want to update the threshold to 2, sign that. And we can also sign it from our other account here. I don't know why it's not. Oh, because it's already signed. I'm an idiot. Yeah. Okay, so now the threshold's 2. And the reason we only needed one person to sign that was because the threshold was 1 at that point in time. Boom. So anyone have any questions about multi-signing so far? And how this relates to stuff like withdrawing? Thanks, Budsy. Really appreciate that. Sorry, I'm sick. My voice is like cutting out. All right. Now, let's also talk about minting, which is really cool. So we can mint emerald tokens to certain people as well. So let's say we want to mint, I don't know, to this account, and we want to mint 100 emerald tokens. We can do that. Oh, and by the way, the purpose of this UI also is that you can like do multiple at the same time. We just haven't configured that yet. So let's say we want to mint 100 emerald to this address. We can go ahead and do that. But this also creates a multi-sign action. So this depends on the signers accepting this action as well. So this way the owner can't just mint tokens directly. They have to get it approved by the DAO admins. So if I say, yep, I want to mint, we can go ahead and sign that. All right. And from our other account here, if we refresh the page, remember the threshold is 2 now, so 2 people are needed to sign. We can also go ahead and sign this and say, yep, I want to mint 100 emeralds to Jacob. If I sign this as well, and if we go back to the home page and refresh the page, it should eventually, oh, here we go, boom, distribute. Or I kind of want to change this to mint, but it's called distribute at the moment. We can see 100 emerald was distributed, so it was minus from the treasury. Or not minus, but it was just minted from the treasury. Popped in late, but are those emerald tokens tradable on a marketplace or exchange? Do you foresee them being? So what's cool about this, Nantucket? That's a great question. What's cool about this is that we deploy. So in this case, emerald is a fungible token that was created for the DAO, right? And when I generated the DAO, emerald was deployed to my account. So what's actually really cool about that is that means that I, as the project or DAO owner, own that contract. So actually, that question is entirely up to you, or it's more so entirely up to the person that owns it. If I wanted to go to IncrementFi and get this hooked up to like a swap pair or some liquidity pool, I could do that, right? You could reach out to Dry Run or the Unboxing Life, I think, at IncrementFi, and they can help you get a swap pair set up, and boom, immediately it has it can be tradable on marketplaces and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly, so you can create your own token and get it set up however you want. Toucans in that sense is like a launch pad in that we get the contract deployed for you and you own it, so you can go do whatever you want. um but yeah, so we don't like, that's not really up to us, it's more so up to you. Yeah. And again, like, you as the product owner, you completely own your contract, so much so that we actually like so in the generator step, there was a step to say like mint tokens. Actually, I'll bring that back really quick. Let's see if I can bring that up. Um, so right here, there's a set to mint tokens, yes or no. Um, so you own the contract. So if you actually put no here, you still can mint tokens because you own your contract. So you can later on update it to be able to mint tokens. So yeah, you have complete ownership over your contract. It's just that we help you get set up. Okay. Yeah, these numbers are definitely off. I don't know why. I think it's just like a display issue. But anyways, I will fix that after. Okay, so I just showed you minting, funding rounds, withdrawing, actions, multi-signing. The only one left is overflow. Um, yes, overflow. So okay, it's gonna be hard to show you this one, but essentially, overflow is when if we go back to our project, refresh the page here. Um, so when I donated to this, right, you can see the goal is reached. So 1,000 flow out of 1,000 has been raised. However, if I go ahead and like donate a little bit more, um, this will get donated directly to Overflow. So what that means is, I don't know why it's not displaying that here either. I'll have to fix that. I don't know what's going on. But it gets donated directly to Overflow. So what that means is there's a certain amount of tokens that are almost like it's like extra, and there's two things that can happen with Overflow. Either A, the project owner starts a new funding round and converts those extra funds to the next funding goal, or B, the community can send back their emerald and claim a portion of the overflow in return. So the reason that's so cool is it gives even greater like value to your community members to say, you know what, if this funding goal like far exceeds, the if this funding round far exceeds the goal, I can actually take some of my emerald and give it back to the project in exchange for some of those extra funds. So it's also like a way for your community to like sort of, invest in maybe even earning some money back from the, project if you get more than a certain amount of funds. I unfortunately I don't know why. I think I also must have broke it. Usually there would be a button here called like claim overflow, and I'd be able to claim some of the overflow back. But for some reason, it's just not. The demo gods were not with us today. But just know that that is a feature. Um, or like I was saying, the other option is the admin can convert some of the overflow to the next funding round and use it as funds towards the next goal. So yeah. That is that. Um, yeah. So, just a quick overview for those who have seen this demo before. The main new features are overflow. Um, we now allow USDC, so not just flow token, but also USDC. And the third biggest change is we now allow people to gate funding round based on NFT holdings. So this as well. So you can only participate in a funding round if you have a certain NFT. Those are the biggest changes. All right, that is pretty much the demo of what I wanted to show. Any questions? And also to answer Professor Meta's earlier question, I would love to hear from some of you about why you're thinking of creating a DAO. Does anyone mind typing in chat or unmuting their mic and describing what's the use case for their DAO or why they want to make one? So the project is pretty much done. We just need to like basically audit the contracts now and make sure there's no like remaining bugs. So I would say probably in the next couple weeks. Only two options available for overflow. Yeah, so the two options for overflow are either you take this overflow amount and use it for your next funding round, or the community actually claims back some of the overflow in exchange for the project's tokens. Will it be used for EC? So not right away. Not right away. but it is something that I've been thinking about and kind of want to explore. I will definitely create the project. But I don't know how I will use it yet. Because it is like a big step, right? To say, I'm ready to create a token, launch a DAO. It is a big step, but it is cool. Thanks so much, Cubic. Also, sort of as a slight disclaimer, right now, so the only way that Toucans actually like generates revenue is through 5% of funds. However, there has been discussion about making like a launch fee as well, like when you create a token. The main reason for that is well, one, obviously to help raise funds to allow us to continue developing toucans, but B, it's so that we don't want people creating spam projects. And right now, the issue is that if there's no fee to create a token, people can just create as many tokens as they want. They can create spam DAOs, and we don't know if that's good yet. Like, we do want to encourage stuff like meme coins because I think that Flow could use a lot more random DeFi meme stuff. But I don't know if it's good to incentivize people to just create a million tokens. So we're thinking about doing some sort of launch fee, like $100 or something, but not confirmed yet. So just to let you know that and be transparent that might be coming, but we'll definitely let you know. You know what I'm also curious, by the way? I'm curious to know if we currently. I think let's say we want to delete this signer. Can we delete? Let's see. I don't even know if this works, but let's say, you know what? I no longer want you to be a part of this operation. I think it just requires one signature and then it's done. Yep. Yep, booted. That's actually cool that it does work. Nice, nice. I like that. No, no. So it would just be per project. So for example, like here in the generate stage, like you go to generate your DAO, you generate it, boom, all this info, and then right here it's like $100 flow token fee or something to actually generate. Oh, welcome, Ben. Unfortunately, you came just at the end. We've already done the demo, but I did record all of it. Yeah, I did record. Oh, I just realized every time I was coughing into my mic, I forgot to mute the YouTube stream. That's great. So I'm just gonna be hearing me cough. Oops. Oh, no worries, Historia. Also, love the name, love that show. Attack on Titan is awesome. This will be on YouTube. I'm gonna pause the stream there actually, or the recording there. So thanks for watching if you're from YouTube. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, come ask in the Emerald City Discord.